In a few minutes, my band, Great Caesar, is going to come out and play a song called Don't Ask Me Why. In that song, you'll hear a story of two characters. You'll hear about McGill and Marie. McGill, the dreamer who sits by his window and imagines great possibilities in his head of a world that might not happen. And you'll hear about Marie, who's the doer with wanderlust, the one who chases down new frontiers across the world. You'll hear how these two characters face an epic challenge, and in doing so, realize that the only way to possibly get out is to bring together these two ideas, the dreamer and the doer, to unite that. I'm not standing here before you. I don't have this amazing privilege just because I've written this song that has a clever allegory. I'm standing here because the project that me and my band and a bunch of other amazing folks created over the last year is itself a manifestation of the big idea in our song. Moreover, I think that that idea is actually a powerful solution to a question that many folks ask. So here's that question. How do we make something of ourselves and make something in the world that is both meaningful and sustainable? How do we create something that matters to us without having to compromise on that? I want to tell you the story of this project in hopes that it gets to an answer there. So we had this song, Don't Ask Me Why. We turned to a friend of ours who's also a brilliant filmmaker named Alex Colby, and we said, Alex, we want you to create a music video that's going to change the world. That's about all we told him. He came back to us a few days later with a vision that was stunning in its clarity and its boldness. He told us about a video he wanted to make that would take the characters from our song, McGill and Marie, and make them an interracial couple growing up in the 1960s. He told us how, as their life progressed, they'd face challenges. And then in the middle of the song, he switched to two other narratives, to the stories of same-sex couples today in high school and the challenges they face in the locker room and at home. When Alex finished telling us the video, we knew this is something that we had to create. So we went about doing it. We got a producer, we got the film team, we got a funder. Everything was moving along quite well until about a week before filming was set to start, our one and only funder dropped out. Now, this was not a cheap music video that Alex had dreamed up. He was big and bold in his vision. But to be honest, there was never a moment where we thought we could stop this project. It already had a life of its own. It was already rolling along. So what we decided to do was seek funding through a platform called Kickstarter, which we've heard about already today. So yes, we did have something that was a project, a creative project. It was about the music video, but I think what we did was a bit more than that. What we told the folks that we were asking to support us was we said, hey, we want to invite you to take a stand with us for something that means something. We want to offer you a chance to work with us to see if we can change the world. That's the promise we made. We try our hardest, and we'd love for you to do that with us. So about 3 weeks later, we had raised over $50,000 on our Kickstarter, and we were able to pay the bills for the video that by that time had pretty much already been created. On Martin Luther King Jr. Day of this year, we released our music video. It was picked up by MTV Act, and it was covered on GLAAD and The Advocate and on Upworthy, which was a real dream. And now it's been viewed over 230,000 times. So what I hope you'll take away from this is not just that we raised a bunch of money or that our video had a bunch of views. What I think is powerful here is that when we were faced with the question of how to make something that's meaningful and sustainable, we turned back to the song, to McGill and Marie, to try to figure out the answer. I have to tell you one caveat here. So in addition to my work as a musician with Great Caesar, I'm also a dream director with an organization called the Future Project. So as a dream director, I work with high school students. I'm in New York City. We help students find out what matters to them, what's meaningful to them. We teach and we train them in the skills to set goals and actually make those happen. And then we coach students in the process of building projects. So clearly this work is very integral to who I am. And that's my last idea here. I think that when you find something that matters to you, when you can live out the expression of who you are, all of your passions, all resonating with one, there's no permission that you need to ask from your funders. There's no middle step between dreaming and doing. What I stand for and what our music stands for is this idea that if you have a big idea and you go at it with your biggest dreams and your boldest actions, that you will figure out a way to make it happen. So I hope that you'll check out Great Caesar's music video. I hope that you'll listen to some of our music, but most of all, I hope that you will find out what really matters to you. You'll come up with a big dream. You'll see the process of doing it all as one that rolls out, and you'll look back to the people in our video and to McGill and Marie for the inspiration to get through that. So it's my honor to invite my collaborators and my band, Great Caesar, on stage. We're going to perform for you our song, Don't Ask Me Why. Thank you. 100 years ago, in a little town in Minnesota, lived a boy who called himself McGill. He sat by the windowsill and dreamed until the day went still, and in the dark he'd dream a little more. And then one day there came along a girl who sang a pretty song with a freckled face. She called herself Marie. She said, "Hey Gil, you wouldn't believe what lies out there beyond those trees. Would you let me take you out to sea? So pack up your bags and fly, 'cause you got some living before you die. And I got this feeling, don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why." So Marie and Gil, they took to the hills and climbed 100 miles until they found a spot where they could be at ease. It was the highest point that they could see, rose far above the tallest trees. So naturally they became king and queen. But before they laid their regal grounds, the sky had darkened all around. The heavens broke and rain began to fall. The lightning cracked, the thunder clapped, and soon the king and queen were trapped on an island sinking in the rising flood. But poor Marie, she said, "The end's begun. I've always had a place to run. I'm certain that this night will be our last." But Gil said, "Marie, you wouldn't believe what lies inside of you and me. Take my hand and we can be at peace. So lay down and close your eyes, 'cause you've got some dreaming before you die. And I got this feeling, don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why." I promise you this too shall pass, even if this night is our last. I promise you this too shall pass, even if this night is our last.
I'm afraid
I promise you this too shall pass, even if this night is our last.
I'm afraid
I promise you this too shall pass,
a mistake.
even if this night is our last. For 40 hours the storm raged on, and Gil, he said, "I had it wrong. If we don't leave, we're surely gonna die." But sweet Marie, she said, "I've seen the light. My dear McGill, you had it right. We just needed a little faith before we fly. Because I've dreamed of what this world could be in all its possibility. And I'll be damned if I don't get to see. So take my hand and hold it tight. We're gonna make it out all right. Jump with me and promise to believe. Oh, pack up your bags and fly, 'cause we got some dreaming before we die. And we got this feeling, don't ask us why. Don't ask us why. Don't ask us why. No, don't ask me why.